Welcome to the Explainer. All right, today we're going to power up our knowledge on a machine that is all about reliability. You know, the one that kicks into gear when everything else just stops. We're talking about generator sets. Yep, your very own personal power plant.
I mean, really think about it. For most of us, right, a power outage is an inconvenience. The Wi-Fi's down, you can't watch TV, maybe you're hunting for some candles. But for a hospital, a data center, or pretty much any modern business, losing power isn't just an option, it's a full-blown crisis.
And that is where our subject for today comes in. The generator set, or genset as you'll hear it called, is kind of the unsung hero working away in the background. It's this self-contained unit that's designed to make electricity whenever and wherever you need it.
Okay, but how in the world does a box of metal and wires just make electricity? It can feel a little bit like magic, but I promise you it's pure science. So let's dive into how it all works. The whole thing, and I mean the entire process, really hinges on this one beautiful principle of physics that was figured out almost 200 years ago, electromagnetic induction. Basically, if you move a wire through a magnetic field, you create electricity. That's it. That's the core idea that makes every single genset work.
And what I love about this is how it takes that complex physics and boils it down into this really simple three-step process. So first, you've got an engine burning fuel to create motion, just like in your car. Second, that motion spins another part, the alternator. And third, the alternator uses that spinning motion and that principle of induction we just talked about to make electricity. It's this incredible energy conversion from fuel to motion to power.
So here's a really simple way to picture it. The engine, that's the muscle of the operation. It's doing all the heavy lifting, burning fuel to create that raw, mechanical power. The alternator, then, is kind of the smart part of the duo. It takes that raw power and cleverly transforms it into the stable, useful electricity that we need.
Of course, you can't just have electricity that's all over the place, right? So there's one last, absolutely crucial piece of the puzzle. It's called the voltage regulator, and it pretty much acts like a guardian. It's always watching the electrical output, smoothing out any bumps, and making sure the power is clean, steady, and totally safe for even your most sensitive electronics.
All right, so we get the science now, but let's talk about the real world. Because when it comes to generators, trust me, one size does not fit all.
And this table just lays it all out perfectly. You see, generator is a really broad term. They're all designed for a specific job. What kind of fuel does it need to run on? Diesel? Natural gas? Is it just for backup when the power goes out? Or is it going to be the only source of power, say on a remote site? Does it need to be quiet? Does it need to be mobile? The answer to each of those questions leads you to a totally different machine.
And the people who use them are just as diverse. You know, at home, a little unit could keep your fridge and lights on during a storm. For a hotel, it means the key cards and elevators never stop working. And in the industrial world, wow, these machines are literally lifesavers, powering everything from massive construction sites to the critical equipment that keeps people alive in hospitals.
And the scale? It's just staggering. You can get a small portable generator that you can literally carry with one hand, and then you have these massive container-sized units that are basically their own power plants, able to light up an entire factory. The size is all about one thing: how much power you need.
Now, as you can probably guess, installing something that makes its own electricity isn't as simple as plugging in a toaster. Having your own power plant is a huge advantage, but it comes with a really serious responsibility to set it up safely. For any backup system in a home or business, this little box is completely non-negotiable. It's called an automatic transfer switch, or ATS. Think of it as the traffic cop for your power. When it senses the grid has failed, it instantly disconnects you from the main power line and hooks you up to your generator. The whole thing happens in seconds.
So, and this is the really crucial point, this isn't just for convenience. The ATS is an essential safety barrier. It's like a one-way door for your electricity. It stops your generator from accidentally sending power back into the grid. That's called backfeed, and it would be like sending cars the wrong way down a one-way street right toward the utility workers who are trying to fix the lines. This little switch literally saves lives.
The physical setup is just as important. So you see this number, 1.5 to 2 meters. That's the minimum amount of clear space you need all the way around a generator. And it might seem like a lot, but it's there for a reason. It's for air ventilation, so the machine doesn't overheat, and it gives technicians safe access to do the maintenance that keeps it running right.
And honestly, that's just the beginning. You've got to have proper grounding to prevent shocks, a perfectly level base to handle the vibrations, fuel and exhaust lines that are installed correctly. These are all things that absolutely have to be done by a professional. This is one job where trying to cut corners can have really, really bad consequences.
So once it's all installed, you can't just set it and forget it. I mean, a generator's whole reason for existing is to be reliable when everything else fails. And that reliability, it has to be earned through regular maintenance and testing.
You know, a good maintenance routine is kind of like a fire drill. You're regularly checking the basics, fuel, oil, coolant. You exercise it, running it for a bit every week or so just to keep the parts moving. But the big one is testing it under a full simulated outage. That's how you know for sure it can handle the strain of a real emergency. It's how you guarantee that it'll fire up when you need it the most.
And really, that brings us to the final thought here. When you start to understand the tech that keeps the lights on, it makes you look at your own dependence on the grid. We live in a world that runs on electricity 24/7. So knowing how the backup plan works is more important than ever. Which makes you wonder, right? What's your plan?